Meghan Markle finally, her long-awaited, appearance on MasterChef Australia has now been released. When she taped it, it was so poorly done that it made news.
Oh my God, like it was a heavy fucking lift because she was supposed to be the central happening of the show. Her appearance is like the big moment of the season. And it didn't go that way. Like we had to like help her along.
If you ask a high school bully, how was his high school experience? The bully will say, oh my God, it was the best time of my life.
You know the world of TV. You're a player in the media. You go on a show like MasterChef Australia. It's a very pleasant experience. They send a Mercedes-Benz or a BMW if you're roughing it. Early in my career, it was an Audi.
1.6 million pairs of eyes. A 3-year ratings high watermark for Network 10. Streaming numbers that smashed every record the franchise had ever set. If you ask Meghan Markle's publicity machine, it was a triumph of historic proportions. A total and undeniable victory over the cynics. Every tabloid headline printed the exact same narrative. The Duchess slays her critics. There's just one catastrophic problem.
Is that Meghan's had a row, as usual, about how she's being described. And of course, what are they going to do? In how they market the show, they're saying, this is MasterChef Australia. We're going to create recipes fit for a duchess. You know, we're going to be, is it good enough for a frontline royal, that kind of thing. So what I'm hearing is that Meghan kicked off and that she doesn't want to be royal and she doesn't want to be marketed as Duchess this. And of course, on camera, she's like, just call me Meghan.
Deep inside Network 10's performance report lies a single, deliberate omission, a missing detail so revealing that the moment you spot it, the entire fairy tale narrative completely disintegrates. Let's dismantle the numbers first, because numbers don't lie, even if the spin doctors behind them do. When Network 10 released their ratings data on Monday morning, executives were practically popping champagne, 1.6 million linear viewers across Australia. That made it the most watched Sunday night broadcast of MasterChef since mid-2023.
Very intimate time call. She's like, aren't you impressed? I'm coming over to tell you myself. Are you going to die? Meghan Markle. At one point, they say, make it sparkle for Meghan Markle. They are trolling her. And by the way, at the very beginning of the show, they took her into their pantry and they said, she zones out whenever you're not talking to her about her or asking her a question about herself so she can talk some more about herself. You literally see like the eyes, they go vacant. They go black. But at one point, Post says, look what we added. We added flour sprinkles. Do you think a single contestant chose flour sprinkles in that pantry?
On digital streaming, the show clocked 118,000 viewers, the highest single-episode streaming draw in the program's entire history. Add in the 7-day catch-up metric, and the total audience swelled to 1.22 million viewers. Year on year, against the exact same programming slot, ratings shot up by 16%. In a modern television industry where a 2% shift gets executives a massive annual bonus, 16% looks like a miracle. On paper, every royal commentator who predicted a complete train wreck got caught with their pants down. Mark Dolan at the Daily Express had branded Network 10 a dying channel. Dan Wooten went on Megyn Kelly's show to insist this appearance would mark an utter humiliation. Paula M. swore the public would tune out in droves. They were wrong, all of them. And within 24 hours, Team Sussex hit back with military precision.
It is insanity because Meghan Markle, in this article that she put out herself, never once addresses or considers the possibility that Judge Pose from MasterChef could be right. Never once does she consider, maybe I may have done some things that could have been construed as not so nice. Because if they have to edit the hell out of a show because of personality mismatch, things are not good.
A wave of identical articles flooded international media. Meghan triumphs. Meghan silences the doubters. Duchess proves the haters wrong. Every piece cited the exact same unnamed source. Every article regurgitated the exact same 8-word phrase. She had a wonderful time. There were 0 issues. That isn't organic entertainment journalism. That's a corporate press release wearing a wig. If you close your browser right now, That's the narrative you walk away with. Smooth, polished, packaged with a neat little bow, except you're not closing the tab, because there is a dark, uncomfortable reality hidden beneath those dazzling numbers. And it is the exact reason her PR managers haven't booked a single live interview since Tuesday morning.
So this is the currency of the Sussexes. How you can have conflict on a daytime TV show about cookery is wild. But that's Meghan.
It's nuts, isn't it? They just love a fight. They're addicted to drama. Yeah. And this is what we've heard, Mark.
Bingo.
So this is what's coming out of sources behind the scenes. You think so?
Yeah.
Really? Yeah.
He better not watch this. This is something that I'm not familiar with, which they call journalism.
Poor JJ watching this in New York. Anyway, look, this is what we've heard from sources on. This is what we've heard from sources on MasterChef. Dear me, Mark.
The core question that nobody in the Sussex camp dares to voice out loud is remarkably simple. 1.6 million people turned on their screens. But why did they tune in? In the world of television broadcasting, there are two distinct categories of high ratings. Type A, the audience shows up because they genuinely admire the star. Type B, the audience shows up because they are desperately waiting to watch a high-profile disaster live on air. Consider a real viewer post published by the Australian media outlet Now to Love the morning after the broadcast. One woman publicly stated she had planned to boycott the episode. Yet, when Sunday evening arrived, she couldn't resist switching on her TV. She was counted directly toward that 1.6 million figure.
This is what we've heard from sources on MasterChef, right? Apparently, Meghan has had a tense moment with one of the judges called Miss Yao after she was announced as royalty at the beginning of the episode, so like you said. And then this is coming from celeb journo Rob Shooter, who I believe you've spoken about before.
Yeah.
Citing multiple production
sources. And I've
sources.
got friends in Australia, and I've heard exactly the same story. It squares with Rob Shooter. And I always think that when you can stand up a story with two sources, you got something.
Well, multiple production sources are saying, Mark, this is unbelievable.
Well, let's be honest, they're telling anyone that will listen because it's probably quite traumatic for them.
Yes, exactly. They're saying that Meghan left production staff exhausted. A source said she was one of the most demanding celebrity guests apparently the series has ever hosted. That goes on, right? According to this report, she came with an extensive list of requests.
Right below her comment, another viewer admitted she was a reluctant watcher who finally caved to curiosity. Two confessions on a single webpage, mirrored across thousands of social media threads nationwide. Multiply those individual admissions across the massive slice of Australia that spent the preceding week vowing never to watch. Leading up to the broadcast, boycott petitions were trending across IB Times, Fox News, and Instagram comment sections. The sentiment was overwhelmingly hostile. Why is she on a culinary show? She's not a chef. I refuse to watch.
The reason why is because the palace, in my view, wanted to protect the Sussexes by not publishing the details. Because, I mean, I would humbly suggest that if you've got bullying allegations, there's an inquiry, there's an internal inquiry done by palace officials. If it exonerated Megs and Harry, surely that would come out. That would be a good news story, wouldn't it? If you've had a win, do you not tell people?
You always tell people.
But that said, we have to give the Sussexes the benefit of the doubt, and it may well be there were no bullying allegations. It may just be that it was a blanket decision not to reveal the details of the report.
Then Sunday night rolled around, and curiosity weaponized the broadcast. They didn't tune in for culinary inspiration. They wanted front row seats to a train wreck. They wanted to see if she would ruin a dish, whether Prince Harry would crash the set, what designer outfit she wore, and whether her hyper-curated persona would crack under pressure. They wanted sensational office gossip for Monday morning. Network 10 executives understand a brutal reality that the media headlines are deliberately hiding. You can only pull off a morbid curiosity spectacle once. The huge wave of hate watchers who tuned in this week aren't coming back for the season finale. Meanwhile, the genuine audience Meghan desperately needs, the consumers who might actually purchase her lifestyle goods, buy her preserves, or stream a potential second season, didn't expand.
She took forever to get the spoon up to her mouth. Like, that was her evincing her disgust. Like, she didn't want to try it. She was already disgusted when he said he was going to do it. In fact, she was outraged. Just my opinion. Now, the other thing we're going to see here is Meghan reveling in how nervous these finalists are in front of her. And instead of like saying something to just sort of level everything off, joke about it, say something self-deprecating, just make them feel more comfortable. You can tell she's just elated.
They were simply shoved aside by a massive crowd that showed up purely to mock the performance. Which brings us to the centerpiece of the entire episode. Because what transpired in the middle of that studio reveals far more than any ratings chart ever could. The judges posed a single baseline question to her. One basic query directly within her supposed expertise as a lifestyle authority. And she completely froze. What is your go-to family meal on a quiet Sunday? That was it. That was the entire question. Ask any parent in the world, and you'll get an immediate answer in less than a second. Roast chicken, homemade lasagna, shepherd's pie, a classic Sunday roast, fish fingers on a hectic weeknight, anything. You could pull a random stranger off a bus in Manchester, and they would give you an authentic, heartfelt answer without hesitation.
Okay, there was another weird moment that we've just gotten a look at that has some people talking online, and I actually share the view. SOT 5, listen, watch this.
Can I ask you, please, Meghan, what is your favorite dish to cook for the family?
That's a tough one. It's a tough one because I have a lot of palates to appease. My husband, being from the UK, loves a lot of meat, potatoes, cream sauce. California girl, I like grilled fish, grilled meats, lots of citrus. I just like using really pure natural herbs and spices. You know, again, if you can pull fresh herbs like, do you say herbs or herbs here?
We say herbs.
You do?
She don't cook.
I'm sorry.
She don't cook.
It's weird.
Meghan Markle could not name a single dish. Not one. Instead, she offered a evasive, wordy non-answer. She rattled off generic buzzwords about pure organic herbs. She spent 12 full seconds debating whether Australians pronounce it herbs or herbs. A classic stall tactic deployed by someone who has absolutely nothing of substance to say. Keep in mind, this is a personality who hosted a multi-million-dollar Netflix cooking series, launched a luxury food brand named as Ever, and spent 2 full seasons waving custom wooden spoons around camera crews.
Even like I don't cook, but I've got like my 5 go-tos as a mother of 3 children that, you know, I will cook. If you ask me that, my answer would be lasagna. Everybody loves it. I've learned how to cook it. It's a crowd pleaser. Why can't she name the favorite meal? I've got a lot of palates to appease. So does every mother on earth. What are you saying? Of course, obviously, you have more than one child. You do, but somehow we managed to find an option. And most mothers or fathers, if they're the family cook, would have it at the ready, damn.
100%.
Her entire brand identity relies on the image of a warm, down-to-earth home chef who thrives around the family dinner table. Yet, when handed the most elementary question conceivable on a live culinary show, she stumbled completely. Later in the episode, the production team asked her to actually prepare something. Out of every recipe in existence, guess what she chose to assemble? Pesto. She made pesto. Quite literally, the lowest effort culinary creation possible on planet Earth. A food processor, fresh basil, a drizzle of olive oil, and a handful of nuts. A 12-year-old making their first YouTube video can prepare pesto. That was the absolute peak of her culinary demonstration on the biggest television appearance of her year.
But she don't cook. Okay, because later in the show, she's asked to make something. Guess what she does? Pesto. So you know Meghan from your hilarious sort of version of With Love Meghan with Maureen Callahan. You know all she does. Yeah, your parody. That's the word I'm looking for. All she does is crudités and dips and fruit. So she's a woman who has a cooking and lifestyle show, who sells cooking and lifestyle products, is appearing on a cooking reality show. She doesn't cook. She makes dips with crudités. Because I'm sorry, that is the easiest question to answer. And she doesn't cook for Harry. Poor Harry. He's not getting home cooking from Meghan Markle, okay? Trust me.
No, I totally agree. And it was obvious when you watched her stupid show that her biggest recipe was the Martha Stewart recipe for pot pasta, which she stole. It was very clear. If you line up the 2 recipes next to each other, they are virtually identical.
After filming Wrapped, a contestant named Petro told an Australian publication that he was completely starstruck in her presence. Think about that statement for a moment. A professional, highly skilled chef, one of the top 4 culinary talents in Australia, was reduced to awe by someone who couldn't name a simple family dinner and blenders up raw basil leaves. That isn't a demonstration of culinary expertise. That is pure celebrity gravity masking a total lack of substance. And the exact second that celebrity gravity encounters real-world scrutiny, the illusion shatters. Yet, the awkward cooking segment wasn't even the most embarrassing part of the evening. The true low point came during her initial introduction, dictated directly from the executive producer's cue card. Please welcome the Duchess of Sussex. She immediately leveraged the official royal title bestowed upon her by the very institution she has spent the last 6 years publicly tearing down.
There's an issue about how they announced her. Here's the soundbite, SOT 9.
We've had MasterChef royalty in the kitchen before, but no one like this. All the way from sunny California, please welcome to MasterChef Australia, the Duchess of Sussex, Meghan Markle!
Don't you know I'm Sussex now, Dan?
Cast your mind back to the Sandringham Summit in January 2020. Queen Elizabeth II, Prince Charles, and Prince William sat down across from Harry and Meghan. The resulting legal agreement was crystal clear. They were free to relocate to North America and pursue independent lives. The strict condition? They were explicitly forbidden from commercially exploiting their royal titles for financial gain, brand partnerships, or Hollywood television deals. Fast forward to this episode. According to insider reports published by Sky News and Page 6, Meghan's representatives had issued strict written instructions to the MasterChef production team prior to filming. Do not emphasize or lean into royal terminology. Yet the co-host, Po Ling Yao, used the title anyway. Why? Because that title was the entire reason Network 10 cut the check in the first place.
But this is nuts, Meghan, because, the whole concept of Meghan's guest appearance was framed around the idea of a dish fit for a duchess. So it's like, what? That's okay. But describing you as royalty is not. And by the way, again, no one's really pointed this out. Maybe no one cares anymore. But this appearance, Meghan, goes directly against the agreement that Queen Elizabeth II made with Meghan Markle, because you'll remember the Sandringham Summit was absolutely adamant in the fact that Meghan was not able to commercialize aspects of the British royal family. Yet my understanding, Meghan, is she's been paid for this MasterChef Australia experience. She wasn't doing this for altruistic reasons. She's not donating her fee to a charity. This is straight money in her pocket, and yet she used her Duchess title within it. So that is immediately a contravention of the Sandringham Summit.
Consider the actual title of the episode's main challenge, A Dish Fit for a Duchess. Sit with that paradox for a moment. Her legal representatives issue warnings against commercializing her title, while the entire episode's marketing strategy is explicitly built around it. Network 10 didn't write a massive paycheck for Meghan Markle the individual. They bought the royal brand. According to set insiders, Meghan was deeply annoyed when Po uttered the royal title out loud during filming. You cannot have it both ways. You cannot monetarily exploit a royal title while simultaneously acting offended when someone speaks it out loud. You cannot cash a high-dollar network check and then complain about the branding printed on it.
I don't believe that is the case, because Meghan Markle in New York, when she went to do an interview with somebody at a friend's house, she had her staff announced into the living room, the Duchess of Sussex is coming. When she went to that restaurant in Beverly Hills or whatever the hell it was, she came in that little golf court, and the reporter said that her assistant announced to the world that Duchess of Sussex is coming. So are you telling me that Meghan Markle, who loves to remind people that she's ranked above everybody else in her mind, would have an issue with Judge Po saying, we have royalty in the house, because that's how Meghan sees herself?
The story gets worse. Po Ling Yao isn't just a television host. She was the breakout runner-up on the inaugural season of MasterChef Australia back in 2009. She has spent 17 years building her reputation on Australian television. She is beloved by the public. When reports surfaced that Meghan was upset on set, Po was reportedly so distressed that she offered to extend a personal face-to-face apology. She was flatly rejected. Meghan's management team intervened and explicitly blocked Po from making contact. Let that sink in. A veteran presenter who spent nearly 2 decades building a television network's flagship show offered an apology to a guest over a title dispute and was cold-shouldered by the guest's PR team.
She was so mad. She hated that woman who introduced her, Poe. And Poe is actually a big name in Australia. She's beloved. She came through MasterChef. So she started off as a contestant. She's now a judge, really beloved in Australia. So obviously Meghan decided to hate her and decide that she's a real bitch. And she totally castigated Poe behind the scenes for having introduced her as royalty.
That is the reality behind the headline of silencing her critics. Then, midway through the broadcast, the producers dropped in the ultimate ratings hook. The phone rang, and Prince Harry appeared via a scripted video call. Men across the world likely watched that moment and shook their heads in disbelief. This is the same Harry who flew Apache attack helicopters in Helmand Province, a military veteran who served 2 tours of duty, a man who once had a fierce sense of personal identity, a close-knit circle of military comrades, and global respect. Now, he is reduced to a staged, multi-second video call cameo on his wife's guest appearance on an Australian cooking show, dialing in on cue to convince viewers that their personal dynamic is thriving. It was entirely manufactured. Nothing in the Sussex media operation happens organically. The call was timed to the exact minute to hold viewers through an upcoming commercial break. Harry was brought in as a high-value celebrity prop to boost retention metrics. This happened just 9 days after Harry had flown to the UK for a private meeting with King Charles at Highgrove, a meeting framed by international media as a historic step toward royal reconciliation. 9 days later, he's performing script call-ins on Australian reality television.
Sorry to interrupt. We've had a phone call to studio.
Hi, my love. Hi. My husband's here.
Oh, wow! They don't give a shit.
I want you to meet the judges. Here we go. Oh my gosh.
What's going on? Have I interrupted something?
Well, we're actually
it's a taping.
Dishes. We have 4
It's a
incredible
competition.
cooks here. Yeah, Aaron's
With
here.
food that's hot and
Cat's
needs to be
there.
tasted at a certain
Casper,
temperature. Oh my
Pedro.
God, these two are the worst.
Hi guys. It's amazing. They're so talented. We wish you were here. He's in Canberra right now. Yeah, we do. With the veterans.
And the chandeliers in the background. That's
With the
very nice.
veterans.
See the joints.
The footnote.
All out here. Your beautiful wife.
That you guys have. Wonderful.
I wish you could try this. These dishes are fantastic.
I see.
Yes. Yeah.
There's nothing like seeing a thumbnail-sized
It's really delicious.
plated
There's a hot sauce that,
dish
well, you know me, it's a sambal, and
over
it is
FaceTime.
so
We could stop
good.
it here.
I don't know.
This
I think
adds
I-
nothing to the show, nothing. And if anything, it takes the focus away from these contestants who are in pursuit of a life-changing win, okay?
If you thought that represented the peak of their PR strategy for the month, look at what unfolded on Instagram just 72 hours later. While network executives were analyzing the initial broadcast figures, Meghan posted a series of stylized photographs from Althorpe House in Northamptonshire, the ancestral estate of Lord Charles Spencer and the final resting place of Princess Diana. While the photographs avoided showing the private burial island itself, the strategic intent was unmistakable. People magazine, an outlet frequently supplied with official briefs from the Sussex team, immediately published a feature highlighting how the photos mirrored historical imagery of Princess Diana spending time on the grounds with her young sons. Same framing, same aesthetic tone, same emotional hooks. Nothing in their public relations strategy is accidental. Images are carefully held and released like tactical assets. Releasing photos of her children on the private estate where Harry's mother is buried isn't a spontaneous personal update. It is a calculated move designed to publicly reinforce their connection to the Diana legacy. According to multiple industry insiders, this entire sequence of events is laying the groundwork for a pitch, a proposed Netflix documentary centered around Princess Diana, timed to coincide with the 30th anniversary of her passing in August 2027.
The fact that Meghan not only decided to get it on camera but post it says a lot about her. But my belief is that this is just the beginning. They need money, and they still have a first look deal with Netflix. And Netflix has been very interested, Meghan, for a long time in a documentary, and you can't blame them. It would do massive numbers, a documentary on Princess Diana.
Oh yeah, if it's about the royals.
Yeah, and it's the 30th anniversary of Diana's death next year. Now, I don't know about you, Meghan, that was a huge moment in my life.
Yes.
You know, we all remember.
We all remember
if
where
we're
we were.
a certain age, we all remember it. And Harry, and you know, I don't agree with Harry on virtually anything. But this is but I'm always going to be honest if I do. And this is one area where I do agree with him. Harry doesn't believe the full story has been told about Princess Diana's death. So if he is prepared to make a documentary for Netflix where he goes through some of that, obviously it would be a massive blockbuster. And the deal that they have with Netflix and Ted Sarandos, Meghan, means that they have to offer it to Netflix first. It's like what the Obamas have. It's like a first look deal. So effectively Netflix has the right of refusal. But what I believe the executives want in order to push up the price is imagery of the family at Althorpe, at Diana's grave.
The MasterChef appearance was the initial trial run. The 1.6 million viewer metric was the proof of concept. The Highgrove visit secured the family relevance. The Althorpe imagery completed the pitch presentation. Every single move is interconnected. Which brings us directly back to the single figure Network 10 conveniently left out of their triumphant press release. The one detail that shatters the entire comeback narrative into pieces. Network 10 has refused to confirm whether Meghan Markle will ever be invited back. Read that sentence again very carefully. The network just secured its highest Sunday night viewership in 3 years, yet they have not offered her a returning deal or a broader series contract. In the television industry, when a guest personality drives genuine, sustainable viewer demand, network executives move instantly to lock them into long-term contracts before the episode even finishes airing. That is standard industry protocol. Network 10 did not do that. A week after the broadcast, no deal exists. Because television executives understand the underlying reality, you can sell a curiosity spectacle once. You cannot sell it twice. The huge surge of hate watchers will not tune in for a regular episode. Meanwhile, authentic food enthusiasts watched a high-profile guest fail to describe a basic family dinner, make a simple dish of pesto, and treat a beloved host with cold indifference. Look at the broader context of her media footprint this year. Netflix officially canceled with Love, Meghan after just 2 seasons. Their commercial partnership with the As Ever brand was quietly wound down at the same time. Industry analysts characterized her show's Emmy nomination as a perplexing decision given its abysmal viewing numbers. In Montecito, major Hollywood figures are reportedly maintaining a clear professional distance. The close-knit circle of top-tier celebrities appears to have receded. This isn't the story of a public figure silencing her critics. It is the story of a PR team squeezing every last drop of mileage out of a single spikes in viewer metrics before the next controversy lands. And make no mistake, the next chapter is already in motion. There is a critical Netflix pitch meeting scheduled for September that very few people are discussing yet. It involves Harry, a major royal anniversary, and plans to monetize sensitive family history in ways that will outrage royal observers across the globe. That is the exact story we are breaking down next week. Make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss it.